income for nearby communities. From MPA managers to lodges to eco-tours, there is money to be made.
Healthy marine ecosystems help to protect our islands from climate change and other impacts that we cannot control. Healthy coral reefs help to break down fake waves, and mangroves absorb storm surge and help to protect our coastline.
Older and larger fish tend to carry more and healthier eggs than younger fish. Fish replenishment areas will allow fish to grow bigger and ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In a replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protected.
For every shape-up, after-school activity, unplanned home repair, and other day-to-day spending, there's SandDollar. SandDollar is a convenient way to send and receive money instantly. SandDollar is easy to use. It's safe and secure. Just like physical cash, SandDollar is issued by the Central Bank of the Bahamas. And best of all, there are no fees for individuals to send or receive funds. Download a SandDollar-enabled digital wallet and enjoy the benefits of the digital Bahamian dollar. Spend it locally. Transfer it to and from a local bank account or convert it to and from physical cash. Learn more at www.sanddollar.bs.
The Honorable Brave Davis is the Governor General of Bahamas.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
This is the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, unveiling a vision of resilience and progress for Grand Bahama Island. Amid discussions on economic growth, that was the focus of the Deputy Prime Minister during the 25th Annual Grand Bahama Business Outlook held on Thursday morning. During his presentation, the DPM emphasized pivotal projects, including a new airport at the Grand Lucayan Resort and additional investments. Raven Davis was there and filed the details in this report.
The 25th Annual Grand Bahama Business Outlook event is setting the stage for dynamic discussions on economic growth. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, painting a promising future for Grand Bahama. Despite ongoing challenges, Cooper highlighted notable improvements, particularly in the tourism sector, even projecting over 4 million new visitors to this island by late 2026.
In 2023, Grand Bahama Island welcomed a total of 559,000 visitors. This does not include guests who arrive via Nassau and travel onward to Freeport. Grand Bahama is, in fact, the fastest growing destination in the Bahamas by air arrivals, and the third fastest growing island by arrivals overall.
With strong momentum surrounding the $500 million Carnival Cruise Port Celebration Key, DPM Cooper announcing additional intentions from Carnival for a noteworthy $100 million investment in the island.
In addition to the first two berths, slated to be completed by 2025, the expansion will add 2 more berths that will be completed in 2026.
This additional investment lending itself to more construction and ultimately more opportunities. But the Deputy Prime Minister acknowledges the significance of airports for a thriving economy, assuring that despite doubts, progress is steady in securing a new airport for Grand Bahama.
We have executed an agreement already with the Manchester Airport Group. This mandate to update the business plan and complete conceptual designs within the next 45 days has set the stage for a design-build facility that will not only meet international standards, but will exceed them. The involvement of a local Grand Bahama construction company for the demolition phase commencing within the next 30 days underscores our dedication to empowering local businesses.
And as for the Grand Lucayan, he says efforts to upgrade and sell the resort are ongoing, with strong interest in this iconic property.
In the meantime, the anticipated occupancy for the first quarter of 2024 significantly surpassed those of 2023, and the room revenue in 2023 significantly surpassed the room revenues of 2022. In fact, it was 35% ahead of 2023.
Minister Cooper highlights that now is the opportune time to conduct business on the island, noting that Grand Bahama's narrative is evolving into one of resilience, innovation, and progress. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Thanks, Raven. Well, with $2 billion worth of projects on tap for the island of Grand Bahama, attendees of the 25th Annual Grand Bahama Business Outlook also heard about the island's progress through a number of developments and government initiatives. As Shashina Wolf-Farquharson reports, the Minister for Grand Bahama is solidifying Grand Bahama as the home of resilience.
We didn't need more of was just talk. We needed action, results, and progress. And that's what this Davis Cooper administration has been doing over the last 29 months. We've been working for you.
The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, says this is what progress looks like. From the greatest increase in visitor arrivals at 44% to downtown Freeport coming alive again, a $200 million health campus to Doctors Hospital, Carnival Cruise Port, and the Grand Bahama Shipyard investing millions of dollars on the island. But she says while investments are being made, the government is also addressing some age-old issues.
We have also made significant progress on legacy issues such as the International Bazaar, the Harcourt properties, and the West Sunrise Highway Road reopening. Stay tuned. There's much more to come on this. And we have been in discussions with the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce on ease of doing business issues. So there's been progress on that.
Another aggressive initiative is Innovate 242, which includes tech campuses, an incubation and startup facilitation, and a Bahamas Tech Fund with seed funding to support tech industry entrepreneurs.
The goal is to establish the Bahamas as the center of innovation for the Caribbean and Grand Bahama Island as the center for sustainability, and a Bahamas Tech Fund with seed funding to support tech industry entrepreneurs.
Additionally, Moxie says an Afro-Caribbean marketplace is also on tap for Grand Bahama, which will include infrastructure for a concert hall, retail outlets, festivals, in addition to much more.
In 2023, the Ministry for Grand Bahama signed an MOU with Afro-XM Bank to develop an integrated Afro-Caribbean marketplace with an overarching theme to boost trade and investment and connectivity between Africa and the Caribbean that can be a game changer for Grand Bahama Island.
The minister also stressing the importance of bringing relief to the people of Grand Bahama immediately after coming to office through a special program dubbed Collab and Beautiful Grand Bahama.
And so, along with creating the Collab unit at the Ministry for Grand Bahama, Beautiful Grand Bahama was formed, employing over 350 individuals who simply could not get a job. I am so happy to say that this program has been a phenomenal success and has not only contributed to the low crime statistics on this island, but it has truly transformed so many lives and given hope to many of our people.
While the minister contends that there is more work to be done, she believes that one thing is clear. Progress is being made on the island of Grand Bahama. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shashina Rolf-Arkeson.
Meanwhile, a major announcement taking place today at the 25th Annual Grand Bahama Business Outlook Carnival, revealing plans for a $100 million expansion on top of the $500 million investment of Celebration Key Grand Bahama Cruise Port, a move set to double the destination's arrival capacity. Our Aja Kwan spoke with the Carnival's Vice President of Destination Operations and joins us live. Aja?
Big deal, Ramiko. Carnival Corporation, the world's leading cruise company, pouring another whopping $100 million into Celebration Key Grand Bahama, taking the total to a $600 million investment. This announcement made during the 25th Annual Grand Bahama Business Outlook event. But get this, it will also double the arrival capacity of the cruise port. While Ramiko Carnival's Vice President of Destination Operations, Juan Fernandez, is now making one thing clear.
This is happening.
The expansion includes the addition of 2 new berths, complementing the 2 existing ones, scheduled for completion by 2025. By 2026, all 4 berths will be capable of accommodating Carnival's largest XL class ships simultaneously.
This means that by around 2028, we expect to have about 4 million passengers to Grand Bahama.
The enhanced cruise pair is projected to welcome nearly 4 million guests annually by 2028. The VP emphasizes the overwhelming positive response to Celebration Key Grand Bahama as the driving force behind the expansion.
When we started selling our cruises, the demand is very strong, the response is very strong. I'm not sure if folks have seen the videos out there in social media, in the NFC Championship game, in the NBA All-Star game, but it's amazing. And we're getting such strong demand that we'd like to welcome even more guests to this beautiful destination.
Fernandez noting that this is going to be a great experience, generating job creation, business opportunities, and subcontracting prospects.
In order to run a project of this magnitude, a destination of this magnitude, we're going to hire more than 1,000 positions between what Carnival hires directly and what our third-party operators and retail and food and beverage will need to hire as well. In addition to that, all of the economic impact surrounding it, whether it's, as I mentioned, subcontracting of services, whether it's shore excursions, whether it's restaurants and hotels that need to welcome the guests that want to venture into Grand Bahama as well.
He underscores the strong partnership between Carnival and the government, noting their shared commitment to fostering sustainable growth and development in the country.
The Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Minister Moxie from Grand Bahama have been extremely supportive. They've been along with us in this journey. As a matter of fact, Deputy Prime Minister stole my thunder a little bit since he was the one to announce the expansion, which we're more than happy to. So it's been very collaborative.
Now, VP Fernandez says they want to continue engaging the community through their social media platforms. On Facebook and Instagram, they can be found at Celebration Key Grand Bahama or visit their website at www.celebrationkeygrandbahama.com. Live in studio reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Aja Kwan. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Aja. A significant turnout of residents at the Grand Bahama Business Outlook event reflecting growing enthusiasm on the island. Residents say they are eagerly anticipating a potential surge in entrepreneurial and diverse opportunities expected to come to fruition.
I've been dealing with Junior Achievement, and we always promote entrepreneurship. And I would say this is a time now for Grand Bahama, for persons who have that vision, to be prepared.
Things look good for the hotel, and we have no problems bringing people in from the international markets around the world. And so, and bringing in airlines to basically bring people here in the Grand Bahama. And so we're just excited about the future.
Definitely a lot of optimism. Naturally, you know, we take some things with a grain of salt, but things seem to be a little bit more concrete now.
Well, a tragic traffic incident on February 20th on Abaco has left investigators probing the circumstances surrounding the deaths of Michelle Arias and Armani Demerit. The pair, occupants of a black Honda Fit, tragically lost their lives after reportedly losing control of their vehicle while traveling north on Ernestine Highway. Tonight, our Yolanda Thompson-Everest speaks to the father and fiance of that duo.
The latest traffic fatality sending shockwaves throughout the community. But for one man, the learning of the death of his pregnant fiancée and 4-year-old son has left him devastated.
She hold my face that morning and say, well, baby, we have a problem speaking through. We go overcome it. So she kissed me for about 3 minutes. And my little boy, he come and say, Daddy, I love you.
He was dropped off to work by his pregnant fiancée and 4-year-old son, only to be told 1 hour later that they died in a 3-car collision. Delano Demerit, father of Armani Patrick Demerit, and fiancée of Michelle Arias, sharing his final memory that he claims will live on forever in his heart.
After I get dressed, I went inside the cafeteria, and the boat captain, Coyle, he was like, how I get who dropped me off the dock? I said, well, I drive myself with my fiancé. And my little boy went back down to take the car back up. So he said, but check, see if they all right, babe.
Delano says that after hearing about the accident, he then viewed some photos and videos circulating on social media. He says while he was able to get a good look at the vehicles involved in the accident, he was still unsure if it was his Michelle and Armani.
Keep on trying to call, keep on trying to call, keep on trying to call. So now, at this time, one of my close friends, cousin, he ended up calling me. Because he didn't, I'm showing my message, but I sent inside the group. I sent a message inside the group saying that was a block. But he ended up showing my message. Because he was in the traffic as well. So he started explaining to me, your girlfriend have locks. I said, yeah, but I said, man, that don't look like my car.
He continues that he left work immediately and drove to the scene only to witness his baby boy wrapped in a body bag and Michelle being extracted with the jaws of life.
I feel him up. Feel up his leg, feel up his belly, feel up his head. I open up his eye. I say, man, what is this, Lord? What is this? I say, what is this? So I call me, honey. Oh, Lord. I called my auntie, and she came.
Merritt says that his family was not insured, and he's asking the public for assistance in helping to bring them home to Freeport to be funeralized. If you can assist the Merritt, for those in Abaco, you can contact his aunt at 824-0044, and for those in Freeport, you can call this number, 646-4017. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Yolanda Thompson-Everest.
Thanks, Yolanda. Our thoughts and prayers certainly goes out to that family. Heading now into news from the crime beat, a 40-year-old man is behind bars tonight after being found guilty of 3 counts of indecent assault. The victims, ages 10, 7, and 4. Defendant Darren Black appeared before Senior Magistrate LaQuay Lang. According to reports, the assault took place between June 30th, 2023 and January 24th. They all pled guilty to the charges. He was convicted on all counts and sentenced to serve 4 years at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Stay with us. When we come back, we will tell you how one family is spreading the love. That story, sports, and more when we come back.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come and see the cabinets and countertops in stock now at Specialty Kitchen and Bath, number 16 Oak Street. Phone them at 688-9661.
Unwind every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Prop Club at the Grand Lucayan Hotel. Enjoy tasty food specials on draft beers and house specialty pizzas. The Prop Club, the best place to meet friends and enjoy happy hour.
Good news. A&M Professional Lawn Care is branching into Freeport. For all of your lawn care services, residential and commercial, landscape design, window cleaning, painting, or truck for hire, call 445-4157. Keep it cool with Bethel's Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, located number 3 Milton Street. Phone 602-5467.
Here at Perfumes of Lucaya, you can find all of your top high-end, fine quality French and Italian fragrances. We have the Jean Paul Gaultier, the Coach line. We have also the Versace. We also have Initio. We have Parfum de Marly line here. We also have the Givenchy line here. We have Phantom. We have so many different brands of fragrances, French and Italian fragrances that you can find here in Perfumes of Lucaya. There's so much we have to offer. We are located in the Lucayan Shopping Center. Our store hours are from Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m.
Yes, come on down to Perfume of Lucaya, where it's not just fragrance, it's a lifestyle.
Come on down.
We're here.
We're here.
Waiting for you.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The love was certainly felt throughout the Mactown community. The Spread the Love Give Back paid homage to the matriarchs of the area who gave back to the community in their own special ways. With that in mind, Cassietta McIntosh Pelicano says their contributions is what has contributed to the family's business, or blessings rather, down the line.
The McIntosh family, we've been blessed. We've been blessed. And a lot of it has to do with the generation before us. And there was 4 specific persons in our matriarchal family that contributed in such a significant way to our lives as children growing up and even still as adults. And we wanted to pay homage to them today through the ministry, which we know them for, which is giving back to the community, and it's through food. And all of them were instrumental in feeding the poor and the needy and our family as a whole throughout their lives.
Appreciative of the honors, the matriarchs were overjoyed to be surrounded by family and friends as they celebrated in the best way they know, through giving back.
If I had to choose for another McIntosh family or any other family, I would never change for none but the McIntosh family. And I thank you, Lord, for this day. I give you praise, honor, and the glory. Thank you, my husband, for being by my side. But thank you, and God bless this day.
I'd like to give God thanks for having us all here today. In joy and peace. And I would like to say again, thank you all to McIntosh for making me a McIntosh.
I'm proud to be one of them. May God continue to bless each and every one of you all.
Your check on sports and your local weather forecast is still to come.
hungry? Save the day with this hack. The tastiest hack is no longer a secret. Order 2 medium one-topping pizzas from Pizza Hut Freeport for only $22. Enjoy Pizza Hut while spending less all the way to the crust. Visit us at the store, carry out, or delivery. 2 medium one-topping pizzas for only $22. Call us at 352-9191. Pizza Hut Freeport. Enjoy all the way to the crust. Pizza Hut Freeport.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I still want to put shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
And I still want to put shoes on your feet.
We still want to put shoes on your feet.
2 locations to put shoes on your feet. Downtown Freeport, and now our newest location in the Carmichael City Shopping Plaza, right behind the Walk-Up Wendy's, Carmichael Road West.
Tired of the endless bank fees and long lines? The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union is the solution to making your money work for you by providing you with free financial counseling, higher interest on savings plans, and lower interest rates on loans. Savings products such as Christmas and Vacation Club, fixed deposits, and annuity savings allow our members to prepare for today and tomorrow without all of the hassle. With GBCCU 352-4139.
Lights, camera, action. Restoring the magic from East End to West End of Grand Bahama, we proudly present Freeport Fashion Week. Expect chic and elegant fashion displayed by incredible talent by Grand Bahama fashion giants and few upcoming designers. Come and experience Freeport's vibrant fashion scene. Get ready for a stunning runway show and stylish events that showcases our unique style, culture, and creativity when artists and designers come together to create the magic. Freeport Fashion Week beginning March 8th. Expect the unexpected.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Sunland Stingers heading for a possible three-peat. Here's Shane Stubbs with the latest in sports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your Northern Edition Sports Check. It came down to the final 4 teams of the Hugh Campbell basketball tournament earlier this morning, and the Sunland Stingers are one of the 2 teams that punched their ticket to tonight's championship game. Let's take a look at how they got there.
The Sunland Stingers had to go through local rivals in the Tabernacle Falcons during the final 4 of the Hugh Campbell basketball tournament. As you can imagine, it's always a nip-and-tuck contest between these 2 foes, but the Stingers would eventually pull away, securing the 66-57 victory.
We knew it was going to be a tough game playing against Tabernacle. That's a rivalry we have in Freeport, so we expected a very competitive game. Going into the 4th quarter, the tie was scored 44, I think, and we said we wanted to win the first 3 minutes. And our guys came out and responded on the defensive end. I give hats off to my players, understanding this was a must-win. We want to do something it's never been done in Grand Bahama, and we remain focused with that goal. And so far, we're 1 step away from doing what we wanted to do.
Denaj Kelly led the way with 21 points and 6 rebounds. Edwin Ferguson backed him up, putting in 15 points and grabbing 6 rebounds as well. Jamarian Aubrey chipped in with 12 points of his own. This sets up a rematch of last year's title game. The Stingers will take on the C.I. Gibson Rattlers, who defeated the Anatole Rogers Timberwolves 61-51 in their semifinal contest.
We got to take it one game at a time. They're a well-coached team, very good team, talented, but we'll see what happens tonight.
Now the question remains, will the Stingers retain their seat at the head of the table, or will the C.I. Gibson Rattlers finish the story? Find out this evening at 9 p.m. live on the ZNS Network. Next in sports, the GB Soccer Club girls hope this weekend's trip to Fort Lauderdale inspires more girls to get on to the pitch.
We have a lot of girls who are technical and able to pass the ball well. U14s and U18s just came together. So we've been doing pretty good in terms of being close as a team.
I think when people see us and see what we're doing, the great things Coach Mary, Coach Rick, Coach Donnie are doing, they'd be interested in joining. So I think it will help the program to expand.
The girls are set to compete this Friday and Saturday evening. And lastly in sports, just one game contested during Legacy Baseball play. In 8U action, Legacy Baseball defeated the Buccaneers 7-0. The teams will be back in action this coming Saturday at the YMCA.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to tune in tonight live at 9 o'clock p.m. for live coverage of the Hugh Campbell Tournament's championship game. And that'll do it for sports. I'm Shane Stubbs. As always, be safe and be great.
Thanks, Shane. And here's a look at your local weather forecast, sponsored by Royal Star Assurance.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Stay with us. Our Facebook friend of the day is up next.
Calling all prayer warriors, intercessors, community leaders, and residents to join in a prayer and praise outreach. It all takes place Saturday, February 24th at 4 p.m. on the grounds of the YMCA in 8 Mile Rock. Let us unite for a better country. Special musical guests will be the legendary Cooling Waters. 500 meals will be provided for adults and children, courtesy of Uncle Fee Baby Boys feeding program.
The organizers of the biggest high-end fashion show in Freeport's Grand Bahama are excited and ready for Rip the Runway 2, showcasing some of the best top designers from all around the Bahamas. It's going to be black, white, and red all over. Showtime, 7 p.m. March 10th, 2024 at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom. RMC Demetrius Smith, Mr. Extraordinaire, will paint the runway with his eclectic fashion statement and people-pleasing personality. So what are you waiting for? It is back and is better. It's Rip the Runway 2.
Hey there, I'm D'Amico Nesbitt, and I'm here at the Fitness Connection, and today I'm going to give you 2 superfoods that are going to help with your overall health. Let's get right into it. Superfood number 1 is sea moss. Now, sea moss has over 90% of the vitamins and minerals that your body needs. That means it's going to help with everything. Sea moss is going to give you more energy. It can help with weight loss. It's going to help with your heart health. But more famously, it helps to get rid of mucus in the body, which is going to help to boost your immune system and keep you optimized and healthy. Superfood number 2 is beets. Beets is known as the circulation superfood. So what it does, it helps your body produce more nitrous oxide, which helps with blood flow, which is going to lower your blood pressure, give you more energy, and help with your overall heart health. And if you're interested in any of the supplements mentioned, we have them available at the Fitness Connection. We have a location in the Raven Mall and 2 in Nassau. Stop by and check us out.
Your number 1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Our Facebook friend of the night is our ZNS Northern Service 95-year-old Jacqueline Malcolm, celebrating her special day. We wish you a special happy birthday, and thank you so much for always watching. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, smugglers discouraged. Government eyes corporate tax draft legislation. Eyesores removed. And in sports, Sunland and CI face off. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. The Prime Minister looking to put words into action when he urged Bahamians to all get on board with the fight against crime. And as Carla Palmer tells us in this report, that calls for getting on the ground, listening and understanding the concerns of residents of another hotspot area, along with adding a relatively new element to his government's crime-fighting plan.
Prime Minister, the Honourable Philip Davis, is taking a more hands-on approach to the crime-fighting effort and seemingly added to his busy schedule now are walkabouts in the community with police. Last week, it was Nassau Village. This Thursday, it's Fox Hill.
I'm here to listen, to understand, and to reaffirm our government's commitment to fighting the scourge of crime that threatens the fabric of our society. This battle, my friends, is not about political colors. It's about the safety, the prosperity, and the future of the country.
To police, the Fox Hill area is considered a hot spot. But to criminals everywhere, the Prime Minister says this.
My message is straightforward and they ain't negotiable. To those engaging in violence, peddling drugs, bringing guns into our country, know this. We are coming for you. We're not just talking about increased patrols or more officers on the streets. We're implementing cutting-edge technology that will track you wherever you are. Track your every move, your license plate, your location, where have you been yesterday, today, and where you plan to go tomorrow. There'll be no shadows for you to hide in.
With the proliferation of illegal weapons into the country, the Prime Minister had this to say.
To those selling guns, understand that we are not working alone. We are in lockstep with the United States government, tightening our grip to cut off your supply and hold you accountable, not just for selling, but also for the lives impacted by your actions. To the gang leaders, let me make one thing perfectly clear. Keep your hands off our school children.
Yes, yes,
yes. Our young people are off limits. To the men of the Bahamas, it's time to rise up and be the role models our children need. It's time to stand up and show what true strength is. Not in dominance or fear, but in responsibility, in integrity, and in respect for your families, in respect for your communities, and in respect of your country.
The Prime Minister says his government is doing all it can to slow, if not stop, crime altogether. And once again, he's calling on the public to partner with police and the government to make a change. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Meantime, despite the U.S. and Canada's recent advisories about travel to the Bahamas, officer in charge of the Tourism Division, Chief Superintendent of Police Lily Smith, maintains the Bahamas is safe. Her 82-member strong team playing a major part in promoting that safety, particularly downtown, making their presence felt, interacting with local business persons and tourists. With the country's strong record-breaking 9.65 million tourist arrivals in 2023, Smith says the force responded by increasing its visibility for the safety of locals and visitors. And despite travel advisories, she says visitors have been largely unbothered.
Yesterday and today you have like 5 ships in port, and the numbers are about 22,000 strong in terms of guests, and that's inclusive of about 7,000 persons who work on the ship. They would come off the ship and come and see the sites as well. You may have your 1 or 2 persons who may have their concerns, but you still have persons that are coming off the ship and that are going to the beaches and are
patronizing the vendors along the path of downtown and outside of downtown Paradise Island and the like. So you still have persons who are comfortable, and they've expressed, the officers would speak to them, they express their comfort. They may have their one or two concerns, is it safe or okay, you have that, but the numbers in that regard is not that great. You have persons who say they feel comfortable, they feel safe, especially when they see the police, they feel extra safe that they see the police, they know that it's okay and they can enjoy themselves visiting the country.
Smith encourages Bahamians and visitors alike to always be alert and aware of their surroundings, whether at home or abroad. As for the downtown area, she says her division is always on alert to provide that extra layer of safety.
To the members of the public that when you come in the downtown area, you're going to find officers from the tourism division on patrol at all times, ensuring that the Nassau downtown area is always safe. I have my deputy commander, Superintendent Rogers, along with my team, Inspector Rogers, and the like, that they ensure that we put our patrols out there and that persons coming down here, be it visitors or residents, are always in a place of safety. And when the criminal element seeks to think that they are going to disrupt that, we are going to be on the pulse of that right away to deal with it.
A late-night drive-by shooting, meantime, leaves a 33-year-old man in hospital. Police tell us the victim was driving south on Gladstone Road after 11 p.m. when the driver of an unidentified vehicle overtook him, followed by another vehicle. Soon after, the man heard gunshots and felt an impact at the rear of his vehicle, only to discover he had been shot to the lower back. The victim reportedly managed to drive to a business on Carmichael Road until authorities and EMS personnel arrived and took him to hospital for further medical attention. The police are relying on the public to now help them solve this crime. That said, if you have any information relating to the matter, contact 911 or 919, the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-9991, 2 or 3, or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. A Rotary-led forum at St. James Native Baptist Church zooming in on ways to remedy crime. Area Member of Parliament and Minister of National Security, the Honourable Wayne Munro, among panelists, sharing varied perspectives on the causes of crime and the impact of restoring public confidence through actions like recently passed amendments to the Bail Act.
Since the amendments were passed, we've noticed a spike in individuals now complying. Persons are now going in, meeting the curfew times, and where they were not standing in the police stations, they're now doing it.
I know many sexual offenses are going to, the numbers are going to increase if we get people comfortable with reporting them, and we support them after they report them, and we pass with punishments that make people comfortable that if they report it, it's not going to destroy their entire household.
We're hoping that by this effort tonight, the community can be involved in hearing from stakeholders, but also being able to put pointed questions to them to say, how do we resolve the issues we are confronted with on a daily basis?
Meantime, human rights activist Dr. Sandra Dean Patterson reiterating a long-held concern, and that's the challenge in having evidence examined locally and in a timely manner in the case of varied forms of violence. The noted psychologist reasons that the stifle prosecution efforts. Still, she's optimistic about advancements in the system.
When a person's raped and they go to the hospital, the evidence is taken. But unfortunately, up to now, we haven't been able to analyze it locally. And so a lot of times, the cases depend on the stories of the victim. So victims are put through a whole lot of horrendous things during the courts, because we don't have access to that kind of information. So hopefully the minister is saying that we're moving on that at last, 30 years later, so we're looking forward to seeing it.
Dr. Patterson believes as those cases linger, an added challenge appears for many of those affected, leading to unfavorable predicaments.
A lot of women and children are under stress. We're having reports of women living in their cars because they've been evicted or they don't have the kind of resources. There's a lot more that we can do to resource our family court system so that we can prevent persons being in situations where they don't have money and they don't have things to call on.
They've been an eyesore for years, but today officials took the first step towards cleaning up an inner-city community littered by hundreds of derelict vehicles. Vaughn Aubrey has the story.
Dozens of officials, including 4 cabinet ministers, converged on Padolio Street South to begin a cleanup initiative to rid Engliston of derelict cars. Minister Keith Bell led the multi-agency team.
That we have been given a mandate by the Honorable Prime Minister in his capacity as Minister of Finance, and he has told us to go and clean the areas and do not stop.
Abandoned vehicles and eyesore everywhere on Padolio Street. Acting Director of the Department of Environmental Health Services, Lorna Williams, said health inspectors reported more than 600 abandoned vehicles in Engliston, leading to Vector Control setting traps to eradicate a growing rodent problem there. Meantime, Minister Lisa Rabbing, a former police officer, connected abandoned vehicles to crime.
Persons on the streets, criminals usually use vehicles to hide guns, ammunitions, and drugs. And so the residents living in the area, they're just living, they don't even know that this is a part of what's going on in their community. And so we're asking them to be very cooperative and helpful with us as we move these vehicles, because not only are we just saving their lives, but we're saving a whole community.
In this Honda station wagon, which is about to be removed, in it they found an imitation gun.
A perfect example of why these vehicles need to be moved from these communities, because that's what they do. This could have been used in the commission of some crime, but it's our job to check all the vehicles before we move them. So we'll search them, check for illegal weapons or dangerous drugs before we move them away. But this was just perfect. We just thought we had the real thing, but to God be the glory.
And that's not the only discovery made.
We come across a Mercedes-Benz Jeep, and there's a disc attached that doesn't belong to that Jeep. It has attached to it a disc for a Nissan March. It's a fraudulent use of a license disc, which is a criminal offense. So what we intend to do now, we will impound this vehicle, take it to our compound, and then we'll do some checks as to who's the owner of this vehicle or who's the owner of the disc for the March, so that we could see if we could do checks to see if they are wanted for any type of criminal offenses.
Officials promise that this is not a one-time thing, because the work of urban renewal, the police, the Ministry of Environment, and all other stakeholders continues. They will move from Engliston into other areas of New Providence and then to the Family Islands, all in an effort to keep the Bahamas clean, green, and pristine. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Vaughn Aubrey.
Well, thanks, Vaughn. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Since they're on sale, Max bought things neither he nor his friend really needed. Hungry for deals? Come to KFC to satisfy your hunger before doing something crazy. Our new 6-piece value deal is packed with 6 pieces of your favorite fried chicken, 3 orders of crispy fries, and 3 buttery biscuits, all for just $20. You work hard for your money. Get the biggest bang for your taste buds. Satisfy your taste buds with KFC. It's finger-licking good.
SHSS Electrical has relocated. You can now find them on Chesapeake Road in the former Minute Muffler building. There, you can pick up square D switches, combos, breakers, and breaker panels, plus all the electrical wires you need. Want meter cans, LED bulbs, and ceiling fans? You can find it all at SHSS Electrical.
Need a DNA test to find out if someone is your father, your child, or your grandparent? Call DNA Direct at 324-0665. Get a DNA test for as low as $450. Now you can prove that you are or are not related to an individual easily. Call DNA Direct 324-0665.
Don't let your home or business be in the dark. When there's a blackout, it's time to purchase the new EcoFlow portable generator. This powerful device gives you hours of uninterrupted electricity for your fans, refrigerator, television, and air conditioning units. Dial 327-4504 and see how affordable your EcoFlow portable generator is.
No, they knew somewhere. Aha! I said, catch me last time, they catch me this time.
Spencer, what you running on with? And I sent you to the shop long time for the lad for me to put in this pot?
Yeah, man. So you'll be all up in my grits. But I asked you to cook me this morning. You ain't cooking
Well, Vingston, this year say, showing your sailors, and you ready for the grave.
You good?
Where?
To the repast for your wave made rest in peace. Listen, it just say 200 young sailors could be out to this thing. And they say it could be fun, it could be prizes and surprises. And guess what?
What?
Surprise you and going.
You ain't want to carry me, but
don't touch me, nephew. Nephew! What? Let's show them what we can do.
That's them, Reggie. Show them what we used to.
This for the young people, man. Anyway, while they're in the stage shaking up herself, I can see you on the 22nd through 24th, right over Montague.
Uncle, you forget?
What?
When it's on the junior jungle, on the school pop band can be there.
Oh, well, I can't miss this.
Vincent!
I hope you called me for my grits.
Get the glow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, that is good enough to eat, that is good to grow. It's good enough to eat, that is good to grow.
The Department of Marine Resources is actively harnessing the potential of our oceans while ensuring responsible stewardship. Recent reports indicate a decline in illegal poaching activity in the southern islands. However, in the northernmost region, officials have identified concerning trends.
In the northern region, we don't necessarily see poachers that are coming from the Dominican Republic. We have poachers that are usually coming in from the United States, so it'll come more from the southern coast. We have seen persons as far north as Virginia that may. When we do our investigations, we notice that they do have a trend of trying to come back in undetected, but that is something that we're definitely working on.
Assistant Fisheries Officer in charge of Marine Resources on the island, Ladina Pelicanos, underscores a recent apprehension of foreign vessels in the area.
We would have apprehended a vessel coming in from Grand Quiabaco that would have been in violation of multiple fisheries resources. They would have exceeded their vessel allowance, exceeding over 300 pounds of conch, exceeding the number of fish that they had on board, as well as stone crab claws, and we definitely want to applaud the Fisheries and Wildlife for their efforts in that joint operation as well, so we're definitely making statements.
Additionally, Pelicanos notes that local fishing violations have been on the rise.
So in November of last year, we would have had a joint operation with the Marine Action Partnership, which would have included Wild Aid, the Bahamas Customs Department, as well as the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Royal Bahamas Defense Force. And so 4 vessels were apprehended successfully with multiple occupants, with multiple violations, which would be inclusive of the use of a prohibited apparatus, as well as a violation of the compressor depth usage, which the depth for the compressor can only be used within 30 to 60 feet of water. In addition to that, they would have lacked commercial fishing licenses, and then there were some that were charged with obstruction.
With continued collaboration between the department and law enforcement agencies, the crackdown on such violations is expected to be even more effective. Superintendent Buchanan Munker, police officer in charge of the Marine Sport Services branch in Grand Bahama, provides insights into the typical day on patrol in Grand Bahamian waters.
And so we come out and run the radar to see if we have any suspicious vessels out, and if we come in contact with any vessels that we deem suspicious. Could be a fisheries vessel that has just come off a fishing trip, and we would board those vessels and view the credentials of the persons to see if they have permits for fishing, and see if they're within the right regulations.
That said, he gives this stern warning to the fishing community.
My advice to the Bahamian public is the police is out in full force, and we are here to enforce the rules and regulations of the Bahamas. And so we're saying to you, please, boaters, get your vessels registered. We've noticed that a lot of you are not registering your vessels. Please get your vessels registered. And also get your vehicles that you're trailering your vessels with licensed. Okay, we've issued warnings, but now we're going to take action. And so we just want you to adhere to all the rules and regulations of the boating world.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
The government determined to pull in big money from a new stream of revenue nearly a year in, and it's still soliciting feedback from stakeholders on corporate income tax strategies, and this all in hopes of achieving greater equity in the business tax regime and, by the same token, align with global tax developments.
During the first 2 weeks of February, policymakers and our technical teams participated in workshops facilitated by the IMF in order to discuss policy design elements that will inform the legislative drafting exercise. The goal is to have draft legislation available by the end of May 2024, at which time we will meet to present the budget proposals for the upcoming 2024-25 fiscal year. We hope to speak to that during the budget period. We intend to issue the draft for public consultation over the summer months, that is the legislation that we'll have ready by May, and then move to finalize the documents for submission to Parliament right after the summer recess.
As Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Philip Davis shared during his 2023-2024 mid-year budget statement in the House of Assembly Wednesday, the tax, part of an agreement to support the OECD's Pillar 2 tax reform, affects only multinational entities earning more than 750 million euros annually. These enterprises would be subject to a tax of 15%.
We are talking about very, very big companies. The qualified domestic minimum top-up tax is a way to make sure that these very big companies pay at least a minimum amount in taxes on their profits in every country where they do business. The implementation of Pillar 2 in the Bahamas would unlock a new revenue source, with initial estimates expected to exceed more than $140 million annually. Might I add here, Madam Speaker, that if we do not implement this Pillar 2 tax, that multinational entity that is doing business in the Bahamas, if we don't collect it here, they'll have to pay that same tax in their home jurisdiction. And many of the multinationals who are doing business here will prefer to pay us.
The Prime Minister adding that any consideration of a wider business income tax would only be done after proper consultation with considerable lead time, allowing local businesses to properly prepare. Well, a strong cash flow, strong revenue, and effective expenditure goals. Still, now that the fiscal year is halfway in, the Davis administration's keen on further strengthening the public purse. Altavis Munnings joins us live in studio with the numbers shared at today's Office of the Prime Minister's press briefing. Altavis?
Good evening to you, Mukushla, and good evening, Bahamas. Financial Secretary Simon Wilson today revealing that first half revenue performed exceptionally well at 39.3% of the target. On the other end, recurrent expenditure grew by $8 million and capital expenditure by $17 million, while the deficit shrank by $19 million. But what stood out in Minister of Finance, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis's mid-year budget statement on Wednesday was his administration's intention to implement a tax avoidance scheme to win back some of the millions they've already lost.
What we realized was that legitimate importers of alcohol and tobacco saw a consistent decline in their sales. So we recoup it by discouraging persons from smuggling, and then people who purchase from legitimate importers and distributors who pay their taxes. 2 months ago, we came upon a warehouse where we retrieved over $1 million in cash and goods. You know, that the secondary impact of that is tremendous, because it means that those products had been purchased through legitimate means. So yes, they will have an impact.
The FS, Thursday's guest at the Office of the Prime Minister's press briefing, also sought to shed light on government's travel budget that increased from just under $500,000 to over $2 million.
The comparison has unfortunately been to the COVID period, where there was little or no travel. The reality is the travel is not extraordinary. Right? These are international meetings that we are required to attend to protect the interests of the country. In the case of the Ministry of Finance, the Minister of Finance or a political representative is required at least 10 meetings a year. Required. It's not optional. So if you can imagine a Ministry of Finance, we have small Ministry of Finance, but you're required to be at your IMF meetings, you're required to be at your IDB meetings, you're required to be at your CDB meetings. This is outside of the meetings required by the technical officials.
The government is relying on revenue generated from business licenses and property taxes by the end of April to significantly reduce the country's multi-million-dollar deficit. At the halfway mark, the deficit exceeded the budget forecast by $127.6 million. Reporting live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altavis Munnings. Back to you, Mukushla.
Well, thanks, Altavis. Opposition leader Michael Pintard, meantime, blasting the government for its failure to be forthcoming with answers during question period in the House of Assembly. He says the lack of transparency is also repeated many times when the media asks for answers, adding that very few of the opposition's questions have been answered in Parliament.
Since the government reconvened, we've only had 3 ministers answer partially the questions that we have put to them. This is extremely important for transparency and accountability, something that Prime Minister Davis and Chester Cooper ran on. Right now, they're in violation of the procurement law, so we do not know who they are giving contracts to for the most part. What is it that the Davis administration has to hide? They've entered into quite a few PPPs. We do not understand the terms of these agreements. They have also entered into loan arrangements where they have not yet concluded the terms of those loans. We've had a deputy prime minister that flew to the Far East, signed an agreement that he does not have the authority, not being the Minister of Finance, to sign.
Registrar General Camille Gomez-Jones today testifying in the trial involving former Water and Sewage Executive Chairman Adrian Gibson, former General Manager Elwood Donaldson, Gibson's cousin Rashay Gibson, Peaches Farquharson, Joan Knowles, and Jerome Missick. Gomez-Jones shown a number of documents relating to search results for a number of companies, including Elite Maintenance and different variations of that name, Oak Bay Limited and different variations, and search results relating to Adrian Gibson. Now, when asked if she had ever seen a deed of trust signed by Jerome Missick, Joan Knowles, or Adrian Gibson, she said no. She also agreed the recording of documents can take place after transaction is completed. That's up to years. The trial continues before Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson. We still have more news to come, but Marcellus Hall has a look at what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in Sports 4 tonight, down to the final two at the Hugh Campbell basketball tournament. We will tell you an old familiar matchup just ahead in sports.
In the yellow elder garden, Ali and her cousins listened to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights. A symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the yellow elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Ali dances in her yellow elder costume. We are alive.
After 51 years, Popeyes is crashing the wings party with 5 flavors.
Makes no sense it took so long. Crispy outside, juicy inside.
Who are you? We don't make sense. We make chicken. Y'all good?
Popeyes' new chicken wings make no sense. Marinated in Louisiana spices, hand-battered and flipped, and then we have the audacity to call all 5 flavors fast food? Someone should really say something or order something.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Now available at Popeyes in Nassau.
Simplified Lending, we know that your time is precious. So we've unscrambled the loan process, making it fast and hassle-free. You can have your answer in as little as 24 hours. When you qualify, we simplify. We are the best borrowing solution for tuition, home renovation, vacation loans, emergency medical expenses, purchasing a vehicle, and for business expansion loans. Simplified Lending for simplified living. Call us today or find us in the R&D Plaza on JFK Drive.
The Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training hosted a career and technical education exhibit and career fair recently.
Each year during the month of February, career and technical education is celebrated with schools in the Bahamas and throughout the world to recognize the value and achievements of CTE programs. This year's theme, Every Child Counts, working together to include you, underscores the need for CTE students to be accessible and inclusive.
Scores of students from various public and private schools attended the exhibit and career fair and displayed their projects in carpentry, cosmetology, robotics, agriculture, building construction, and a host of other CTE subjects.
At a young age, I've always been hands-on. I'm not the smartest, but when it comes to being technical and building things, that was always my thing. So I find I have a great passion in it. So since I was young, it was just something I wanted to do all my life. And now that I came to Sierra Walker and I realized that they had such an opportunity like this, I grasped at it, and I'm really happy that I'm in this program because it really shows me a lot and it teaches me a lot about robotics. And later on in life, I want to be a robotic engineer. So this is honestly this is the beginning stage. So I'm grateful to God for this opportunity.
I've walked around and seen many different things, hands-on experience, and I feel like it's a good way for students like me to experience hands-on experience and to get out in the world in the future.
Donnelly McIntosh for Ed Talk.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Airport security being bolstered with the addition of 30 bodies who will serve as either aviation security officers or passenger screeners. The Airport Authority graduated its second cohort of officers on Wednesday during a ceremony at the New Providence Community Center. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable Chester Cooper, and others from aviation sectors spoke to the officers' role.
We will be tasked with the responsibility processing, departing passengers, protecting of airlines and airport employees at LPIA and other family island airports within the Bahamas from those who may wish to perform acts of unlawful interference against civil aviation. So I too urge you to be vigilant. The vigilance that you display may not only protect you, the traveling public, but it might help us to preserve our reputation.
Over 9.6 million visitors to our shores in 2023. Many of them came again to our airport, to our gateways. And so your job is to do more than just managing and screening passengers. You really stand at the front line of our industry as service ambassadors.
As for these new officers, now internationally certified, they're excited to ensure aviation security remains intact.
The focus is just to ensure the safety of all passengers, all crew members, all ground personnel. It's just to ensure the safety of everybody coming through the airport.
I've learned my number one thing, what I'm always going to do. Once the passengers come in, I'm going to always greet them with a smile. Once we start with a smile, we could go forward from there.
Bring towards the airport authority, it's going to be a very eccentric attitude, what we're going to bring towards the table, and we are going to bring a lot of responsibility just to show that we still have it great here inside the Bahamas.
National Insurance Board employees stepping up today to give the gift of blood. The donation drive taking place on the grounds of NIB's Blue Hill Road headquarters earlier today. The effort, a partnership with Doctors Hospital, whose mobile blood collection unit was on site to make the process seamless. NIB's Public Relations Manager, Tonic Darling.
We have persons that are always in need of blood. We understand that there is a need for blood every 2 seconds. And so we want to make sure that we remain community-minded and that we ask persons to come and donate, because there are so many persons in our community that need blood. And one thing I want to say is that the NIB staff really showed up and showed out today. They are giving blood. You can see them all here. And so that is just who we are at NIB. We are givers, and we want to remind the Bahamian people of what NIB means to this community. And we will continue to give, as we did when we opened our doors in 1974.
The corporation encouraging employees and others to share the gift of love and life this season.
I think giving blood is something that is the least, an able-bodied person can do to really assist his brethren in the community. Persons who are really, just falling ill. I'm not even excluding persons who are victims of crime who require blood, but persons in general who are victims of ill health, poor health, who require blood. Sometimes, daily.
We depend on the generosity of blood donors to help ensure that we keep our blood supply at a maximum level. Where you have people for emergency situations or even chronic conditions or surgeries, blood is a lifeline for most of these patients.
It's all about wearing your pride on your sleeve, or pretty much wherever you choose, as long as you show up and show out in support of Corporate Dress-Up Day on Friday. The day designed to bring the country alive with national colors. Government ministries and agencies, private institutions, NGOs, tertiary institutions, and schools all expected to participate in the initiative to demonstrate their patriotism and creativity. Through a proclamation, the Prime Minister has also declared Saturday, February 24th, 242 Day. Now, aside from wearing national colors, Bahamians are encouraged to eat Bahamian dishes and participate in cultural activities. You can also share your pics by emailing bahamasindependence@gmail.com. Well, time now for the poll question of the week. Following the health minister's announcement, do you feel paternity testing for the father to pass down citizenship to his children is a reasonable requirement? You can chime in on our social media handles.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Stocking your shelves is easier with the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounce, new low price, $2.19. Par Excellence rice, 5 pounds, $3.99. IGA tomato paste, 12 ounce, $1.89. Whole chickens, $1.99 per pound. Sweet strawberries, 1 pound, $3.99. Shop the specials and save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Flights between North Eleuthera and Nassau getting a boost as Western Air launches its new jet service on Friday. The airline will provide direct 15-minute flights on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings and Sunday evenings. Western Air officials boast that North Eleuthera, considered one of its most requested routes, is part of the airline's growing accessibility plan to the Family Islands. The new service also getting the seal of approval from Director of Aviation and Tourism Deputy Director General Dr. Kenneth Romer.
It's been unprecedented for our Family Islands. We see the numbers, especially in Eleuthera, North Eleuthera. They've been crying out for airlift, and we made a commitment again to deliver. So we're pleased again that Western Air is bringing more seats, increasing capacity into Eleuthera to meet their growing demand. Those homegrown air carriers such as Western Air, we're proud of the work they're doing. We're only asking them to make sure they subscribe to the highest levels of safety and that they ensure that they deliver consistent, superior service to their passengers.
It's now time for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. Another beautiful day around the 700 Islands. Temperature currently at 70 degrees with just a few clouds. Relative humidity 65%. We have east-northeast winds at around 8 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,017.4 millibars. That is 30.04 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Garden Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 71 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Tool, Key, and Marsh Harbor, Abaco. The Berry Islands also 71. Allenstown, Bimini, 72, 71 in Harbor Island. Rock, Sandy, Eleuthera, 70 degrees. Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 71. Kemps, Bayside Andros, and Black Point in Exuma reporting 73, 71s in Otterstown, Cadalum, San Salvador, and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 73, 72 degrees in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands, Matthew Town in Nagua, 73, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 76. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwest and central parts of the country, those winds will rotate clockwise, becoming east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. Now, your low tide that takes place at 50 minutes past midnight. And then for the southeast Bahamas tonight, the winds northeast to east also at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Now, tomorrow in the northwestern islands, you will have a south to southwest winds. Those winds will be increasing 12 to 18 knots, wave heights building 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. So we will be posting caution flags for boaters in the northwest Bahamas tomorrow. Now, your high tide, that will occur at 7:09 in the morning with a low tide at 1:33 in the afternoon. Now, for the central and southeastern islands tomorrow, the winds are going to be southwest at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. On Saturday, frontal system in the area, the winds become southwest to west, increasing further 15 to 20 knots. We'll have rough seas around 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. High tide on Saturday, 7:45 in the morning, with a low tide at 2:06 in the afternoon. Now, for the southeast Bahamas on Saturday, also southwest component, but a little less at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Want to have your voice heard? Send your letters to the editor to digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. Share your thoughts on current events or positive stories within your community. That's digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
Somewhere. I said, catch me last time, they catch me this time.
Vincent, what you running on with? And I send you to the shop long time for the lad for me to put in this pot?
Yeah, man. Since you'll be all up in my grits. But I asked you to cook me this morning. You ain't cooking
well,
me.
Vincent, this year say, join your sailors, and you ready for the grave.
You good?
Where?
To the repast for your wave made rest in peace. Listen, it just say 200 young sailors could be out to this thing. And they say it could be fun, it could be prizes and surprises. And guess what?
What?
Surprise you and going.
You won't carry me, but
don't touch me, nephew! Nephew! What? Let's show them what we can do.
Let them, Reggie. Show them what we do.
Just for the young people, man. Anyway, while in the station shaking up herself, I can see y'all on the 22nd through 24th right over Montague.
Uncle, you forget?
What?
When it's on the junior jungle on the school pop band could be there.
Oh, well, I can't miss this.
Vincent!
I hope you called me for my grits.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Here at Solomon's, we don't just believe in great brands. We believe in creating unforgettable memories and celebrating everyday living with you and your family. Every aisle is filled with all you need. A great value with variety and a selection of all your favorite groceries and products, saving you time and keeping you on a budget. Great food changes everything. Shop at your local Solomon's for food, for family, for you.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
For every shape-up, after-school activity, unplanned home repair, and other day-to-day spending, there's SandDollar. SandDollar is a convenient way to send and receive money instantly. SandDollar is easy to use. It's safe and secure. Just like physical cash, SandDollar is issued by the Central Bank of the Bahamas. And best of all, there are no fees for individuals to send or receive funds. Download a SandDollar-enabled digital wallet and enjoy the benefits of the digital Bahamian dollar. Spend it locally. Transfer it to and from a local bank account or convert it to and from physical cash. Learn more at www.sanddollar.bs.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcelo Saul here on Championship Thursday as we are setting up for tonight's grand finale of the Hugh Campbell Basketball Classic at the Kendall Isaac Gymnasium. That being said, there were 4 teams going in. Only 2 could make their way to that championship series. Let's take a quick look and see exactly who made it through. 4 teams entering the arena. Only 2 would advance to the grand finale of the Hugh Campbell basketball tournament. In the first semifinal game, familiar foes Anatole Rogers and C.I. Gibson locking horns once again. Anatole Rogers would lead at the end of the first quarter, 13-8. But back would come the Rattlers as they took a 32-23 lead into halftime. Second half, Rattlers able to maintain the momentum behind 27 points from Deshaun Butler. C.I. Gibson holding on for the win. 61-51, the final. Head coach Kevin K.J. Johnson after the game.
Very slow. Defensively, we sluggish. But the second half, we picked it up. And defensively, we wanted to set a tone, and we did that. And we forced a lot of turnovers. And we were able to pull off the game, to win by like 10 points. So we was up like 18. But Anatole is a very good shooting team. And we had to defend. We had to make sure we run them off the line and defend, and that's what won the game for us today.
Tabernacle Baptist against Sunland with the other semifinal matchup. Defending champs would fall behind early, but that would not last long as they fought their way back into the ball game, leading 30-27 at the half. Tabernacle trying to make a run in the third, but Sunland able to maintain or match their intensity. Score was tied at 44 at the end of the third quarter. Stingers finding their groove, though, in the fourth. Game that featured 8 lead changes. Sunland leading when it mattered the most. They get the win, 66-57. Stingers coach Jay Philippe.
We knew that was going to be a tough game playing against Tabernacle. Lots of rivalry we have in Freeport, so we expected a very competitive game. But I told my guys at halftime, we're the more resilient team, in my opinion. We're more disciplined. And it's just a matter of time until we got our run. And we did that early in the fourth quarter. Going into the fourth quarter, the tie was scored 44, I think. And we said we wanted to win the first 3 minutes. And our guys came out, they responded on the defensive end especially. We are so good defensively that it creates offense for us. So our focus will be on, when it's on defense, to do some remarkable things. And I give hats off to my players, understanding this was a must-win. We want to do something it's never been done in Grand Bahama, and we remain focused with that goal. And so far, we're one step away from doing what we wanted to do.
On to some sailing news with the top under-18 skippers all setting sail in the Sir Durwood Knowles Junior Nationals, which got underway this morning at 10 o'clock. It runs through Saturday over at Montague Bay Foreshores. In case you're wondering, over 200 skippers from various sailing clubs throughout the Bahamas will be taking part in the Opti divisions, Sunfish, and the E-classes. Of course, you'll be seeing those broadcasts right here on ZNS Networks, courtesy of Charles Fisher, who's been covering that event from start until finish. And that's your look at sports here on this Thursday. Don't forget, Thursday weather is just ahead. Stay with us.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
For every shape-up, after-school activity, unplanned home repair, and other day-to-day spending, there's SandDollar. SandDollar is a convenient way to send and receive money instantly. SandDollar is easy to use. It's safe and secure. Just like physical cash, SandDollar is issued by the Central Bank of the Bahamas. And best of all, there are no fees for individuals to send or receive funds. Download a SandDollar-enabled digital wallet and enjoy the benefits of the digital Bahamian dollar. Spend it locally. Transfer it to and from a local bank account or convert it to and from physical cash. Learn more at www.sanddollar.bs.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up for your right.
No, it is somewhere. Aha!
I said
catch me last time. They catch me this time.
Vincent, what you running on with? And I sent you to the shop long time for the lad for me to put in this pot.
Yeah, man. Since you'll be all up in my grits. But I asked you to cook me this morning. You ain't cooking
Well,
me.
Vincent, this year say, junior sailors, and you ready for the grave.
You good?
Where?
To the repast for your wave made rest in peace. Listen, it just say 200 young sailors could be out to this thing. And they say it could be fun, it could be prizes and surprises. And guess what?
What?
Surprise you and going.
You ain't want to carry me, but
don't touch me, nephew. Nephew! What? Let's show them what we can do.
That's a Reggie. Show them what we do.
Just for the young people, man. Anyway, while they're in the stage shaking up herself, I can see y'all on the 22nd through 24th right over Montague.
Uncle, you forget?
What?
When it's from the junior jungle on the school pop band could be there.
Oh, well, I can't miss this.
Vincent!
I hope you called me for my grits.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, another frontal system on the way by tomorrow. That's going to be just near northern Florida, making its way towards the south and east. The frontal boundary should approach the Grand Bahama area sometime on Saturday morning around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and by early afternoon, pushing through the capital. That will reinforce the cool temperatures that we have been experiencing over the past several days. Satellite pictures are showing very little clouds over the 700 islands as that high pressure continue to push off towards the east to allow that frontal system to drop in on Saturday. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy, 66 degrees for your low temperature. And tomorrow, breezy and pleasant with a mixed bag of clouds and sunshine. High temperature tomorrow getting up to 77 degrees. Extended weather forecast shaping up like this. Warming trend continues right into Saturday. Frontal boundary comes through on Saturday afternoon. Thereafter, temperatures start dropping again. We'll get them back into the 70s during the daytime for you. And those 60s, they're going to be with us right through the late part of next week. Makishla.
Thanks, Basil. An upgrade for Thelma Gibson Primary School's library with the donation of even more books. It's all in an effort to promote literacy and enhance the students' knowledge. Atos Holdings continued its partnership with the Anglican Church of the Epiphany and Tampa-based Berkeley Preparatory School to dedicate the newly renovated library.
At first to second grade, children learn to read. But when they reach third grade and up, they read to learn. And so this library represents growth. It represents development. It represents the students getting to another step where they ought to be in reading and comprehension.
They assist us in collecting as many as 5,000 books to outfit a library. We will help build it out, and then they will continue in that vein.
But the work behind the scenes, preparing for this, is cataloging books, sorting through books for age appropriateness.
When you have a school, you need to have a library because literacy is the key. It's the key to numeracy. Because if you don't know what the question is on the math problem, you cannot attempt to, address it.
Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.